Tonight, Pelican Players, your local community theater for the Sun City Center, Ruskin, Wimauma, and surrounding area, has the pleasure of entertaining you with another show by the Pelican Players Radio Theater Troupe. The cast is made up of local residents. We will introduce the cast following tonight's show. And now, tonight's performance.
Pelican Players Radio Theater is pleased to present Jeanne Naish and Ed Brown as George Burns and Gracie Allen. It's late afternoon on a fine spring day in 1940. In the Burns residence, George is seated comfortably in his living room easy chair. Cigar and pencil in one hand, newspaper crossword puzzle in the other.
Well, let's see. I need a 7-letter word for classic miser. Okay. D-E-N-N-Y. That's only 5, but I like it. I'm going to leave it in.
Hello, dear. I'm home.
Oh, hello, Gracie. Back from the Bennies. They're well, I trust.
Oh, just fine, just fine. Mary sends her love.
And Jack?
Oh, Jack said something that was really funny. He said I had to tell you.
Well, I'm all ears.
Well, yes, you are. Well, Jack said George Burns has bought so much life insurance from Prudential that when George goes, Prudential goes too. Isn't that funny?
Oh, yeah. Side-splitting funny.
Well, Jack thought so too.
Well, I often do wonder why my Prudential agent is calling me all the time. I guess he's got stock.
Well, Mary thinks you're showing youthful vigor with the college courses you're taking.
Well, you wouldn't know it listening to my history professor. Last week we were studying the Spanish-American War, and he called on me.
Oh, how nice.
Not so nice. He thought I could give him a first-hand account. I never get laughs as big as he got with that one.
Oh, that's silly. You're not old.
I've got neckties older than the kid sitting next to me. Anyway, change of subject, Gracie. I've been working up some gags for our show next week, and I want to try them out on you.
Oh, all right. I'll just put aside this fan magazine that I've been reading.
Yes, I've noticed your nose against the cover. Well, I'll try anyway. Well, there was this farmer, and he had a nice pond and a grove of trees at the far end of the property, and he thought he would plant some fruit trees, irrigate the pond for swimming, and have a nice place where he could relax. Well, one day, he goes to the pond and he sees a group of young ladies skinny dipping. Well, one of them calls out, "We see you. We're not coming out until you go away." And the farmer says, "I didn't come down here to see you swimming naked. I came down here to pick some fruit for the alligator."
I didn't know alligators ate fruit.
No, Gracie, the idea is how the farmer got the girls to... Never mind, let's just skip it. You're more interested in that fan magazine you got there. Actually, you're more interested in whatever it is you are pretending to hide behind the fan magazine that you're pretending to read.
Oh, it's nothing.
Well, if it was nothing, I wouldn't be able to see it. What is it you've got there?
Well, my notes. I've been busy writing speeches for when I'm nominated.
Nominated? For what?
President.
President? Oh, of one of your local clubs.
No, President of the United States.
Oh, okay, good luck. Let me know how that turns out.
George, question me like you're a reporter so I could get some practice explaining my policies. You'll see I've got it all worked out.
Gracie, it was a funny line, but I do have work to do.
Thank you for your question.
What question?
That question. Next question?
Oh, okay, Gracie, okay. I will play the part, okay.
It's Miss Allen, thank you.
Oh, Miss Allen, is it? All right, Miss Allen, are you party affiliated?
Certainly not. I may take a drink now and then at a party, but I never get affiliated. I'm forming a new party.
And the name of your party?
The Surprise Party. My mother was a Democrat, my father was a Republican. I was a surprise for both of them.
Yeah, well, that's no surprise. Now, let's see, where am I going to go with this? Oh, okay. The Republican mascot is an elephant, and the Democrats have a donkey. Do you have a mascot?
Yes, a kangaroo.
A kangaroo.
Her name is Laura.
A kangaroo named Laura.
Yes, she just had a baby. So my slogan is, it's in the bag.
I see. Laura's baby is in
the bag.
Oh.
And I have a campaign slogan.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Down with common sense. Vote for Gracie Allen.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh, then I'll have to change it. Now, I have another one. Vote for Gracie, you can't go wrong. Vote for Gracie all day long.
Gracie, that needs a little work.
Well, I also wrote a poem. Want to hear it?
Well, I suppose we
Vote for Gracie, she's the best little skipper in the land. Vote for Gracie, won't you please give this little girl a hand? Big politicians don't know what to do. Gracie doesn't either, but neither do you. So vote for Gracie, not Sachs or Macy, and she'll shake hands with you.
Well, it's not exactly Irving Berlin, Gracie, but not bad. And you're right about one thing. People do like to shake hands with politicians, because that leaves the politician with only one hand to put in their pocket. Now, Miss Presidential Candidate, besides slogans and poems, what else are you going to do to attract and hold supporters?
Well, my campaign buttons will be sewn on instead of pinned on.
Campaign buttons sewn on instead of pinned on? Why?
Well, I figured if the button is sewn on and hard to get off, people won't change their minds.
I see. Well, Miss Allen, should civil service be extended to all branches of government?
Yes, I believe a little politeness goes a long way.
And have you selected a vice president?
Oh, there won't be any vice in my government, so I won't need anyone to be in charge of it.
Well, we should be so lucky. Will you communicate with the public the way President Roosevelt does with fireside chats?
Well, not between April 15th and October 15th. Summer in Washington is too hot for fireside chats.
Yeah, and summer in Washington, the trees whistle for the dogs. Well, carrying on, Miss Allen, about 7 years ago, President Roosevelt recognized Russia. Would you have recognized Russia?
Well, I'm not sure. After all, I meet so many people.
Yes, you do. But moving right along, Miss Allen, what do you think of the neutrality bill?
Well, if we owe it, let's pay it.
There are other individuals who are reportedly interested in the White House. Have you heard of those rumors?
Well, when I'm elected president, moving to the White House, I won't be taking in any rumors. Of course, I could if I wanted to. There's plenty of space. Mrs. Roosevelt is never home.
You can say that again.
Mrs. Roosevelt
I heard you the first time. Anyway, as you know, to be a good president, you've got to have courage and show plenty of backbone.
If you want to see backbone, wait till you see my new evening dress.
I mean, you've got to be a leader of men.
Wait till you see my new evening dress.
No. I mean, a president must have determination. He must let people see what he's made of.
Wait till you see my new evening dress. Get it?
I get it, Gracie. Almost missed it, but I get it. Okay, can you tell us, Miss Allen, what would be the first thing you would do if you're elected?
Well, I put my daddy in the Senate.
Your daddy doesn't know anything about the Senate floor.
Is that so? He's been making speeches from the floor for years.
And he's still on the floor, I'll bet.
That's my daddy. You know, the Senate is the only show in the world where the cash customers have to sit in the balcony.
You'll never change that.
Well, there should be at least a better floor show, and we should get a few more senators who look like Jimmy Stewart.
Well, that couldn't hurt. So, as we struggle towards the finish line here, can you tell us what your platform will be like?
Yes, it'll be red wood trimmed with nutty pine.
And will you be making many changes?
Oh, I'll just move some furniture around and change the wallpaper, but that's about it.
Miss Allen, people everywhere are talking about how to bring back prosperity. Now, how would you define prosperity?
Well, prosperity is when business is good enough so you can buy things on credit that you can't afford to pay for. And that way you could save enough money to pay cash for new things after they've taken back the things you bought on credit and couldn't afford in the first place.
Well, that sure sounds like you've got a grip on the economy.
Well, everybody knows that women are better than men at introducing bills into the house.
You're right about that, and I've got the canceled checks to prove it. Now, with that in mind, how would you keep our gold reserve from shrinking?
Well, I'd wash it with Lux soap and cool water.
Oh, that should work. And what about the National Recovery Act? Are you in favor of a minimum wage so that women will get men's wages?
Oh, don't be silly. My sister Bessie's been married to 3 men, and she never got their wages.
By the way, Miss Ellen, are you opposed to monopoly?
Yes, I don't play Monopoly. I like Mahjong better.
So we've heard. And what would you do about our $43 billion deficit?
Well, you know, government used to be a system of checks and balances. Now it's all checks and no balances. So I think Congress ought to be paid by commission. If the country does well, they get their cut. And if we have a deficit like right now, they get nothing.
I think you've got something there.
Thank you, George. I knew you'd support me. Blanche does too, you know.
Oh, good old Blanche next door. Well, how do you know she supports your candidacy?
Well, Blanche said to me, you know, Gracie, when voters see red, they really get blue. If the country goes crazy, it may go for you. Isn't that nice? Well, I've got to hurry. I have campaign posters to put up.
Wait a minute, Gracie. We can make some good running gags out of this candidacy thing. It's nutty, but it might be good for ratings. But now, since my skinny dipping joke didn't go over too well, I remember one about politics I did back in vaudeville, even before I met you. Now, it should fit in right in. It goes like this. A very powerful politician dies, and he finds himself facing Satan and St. Peter, who tell him that he has a choice. He can go to heaven or he can go to hell. Well, he's surprised. He didn't know you had a choice. He can't imagine anybody wanting to go to hell, so he picks heaven. Now, wait a minute, says Satan. Wait. At least take a look at things. Get the facts before you decide. So, the politician goes with Satan to hell. Beautiful place. Golf course on the ocean. Big clubhouse. Pretty girls. There's a Ferrari waiting for him. Wow, not what I expected, he says. So now, the politician goes up to heaven, and St. Peter walks him around on the clouds where people are singing and playing harps and things, and the politician says, this looks kind of boring. Is this what goes on here in heaven all day? St. Peter tells him, yeah, this is what we do. Well, says the politician, no offense, but I kind of like the golf course and the Ferrari. So, with that, Satan escorts him back down to hell, which is a volcano, all fire and brimstone and people in chains moaning and groaning. Hey, hold on here, says the politician. This isn't what you showed me yesterday. What happened to the golf course and the pretty girls in the Ferrari? Well, says Satan, as a politician, you'll understand when I tell you. Yesterday, I was campaigning for your vote. Today, I've got it. Well, how was that?
I think St. Peter could have used one of my sew-on campaign buttons.
Well, campaign or no campaign, we should end the show with something that isn't about politics. We could do one of our old vaudeville routines.
Or a song.
Or a song. Song's always a good idea. Which one?
Well, I just happen to have a duet arrangement for It's the Lovely.
Oh, great. You can never go wrong with Cole Porter. Let's see it.
All right, here's the sheet music.
All right.
I start. The night is young, the skies are clear, so if you wanna go walking, dear,
It's
delightful,
It's
delicious,
It's
the lovely. I understand the reason why you're sentimental, 'cause so am I.
It's
Delightful,
It's
delicious,
It's
the lovely. You could tell at a glance what a swell night this is for romance. You could hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low, let yourself go, so please be sweet, my chickadee. And when I kiss you, just say to me,
it's
delightful,
it's
delicious,
it's
delectable,
it's
delirious,
it's
dilemma,
it's
the limit,
it's
deluxe,
it's
the lovely.
well, I really got to strut my stuff.
I knew you'd feel that way. Well, I'm off.
Well, maybe just a little. See you later, Gracie.
Not unless I see you first. Bye.
Pelican Players, an evening with George Burns and Gracie Allen, will continue in a moment.
The Pelican Players Radio Theater will conclude tonight's show in a moment. But first, Pelican Players is your community theater celebrating over 40 years of providing live entertainment. Pelican Players consists of all volunteer local talent on stage and behind the scenes. Our members perform in our main stage, murder mystery theater, cabaret singers, readers theater, comedy club, twig theater, and radio theater productions. Pelican Players is a 501c3 nonprofit with proceeds from our performances going to scholarships for Hillsborough County students in the arts. To date, we have donated over $600,000 to this endeavor. We always welcome new members who have an interest in performing or helping behind the scenes. Even though headquartered in Kings Point, you do not have to live in Kings Point to become a member or attend performances. For more information, please visit our website, www.pelicanplayersscc.org. And now, Pelican Players Radio Theater continues with tonight's performance.
Well, we're about to rejoin Jeanne Naish and Ed Brown as George Burns and Gracie Allen in something of a time warp. You see, our next scene takes place more than 50 years after Gracie ran for president. Although Gracie didn't win, she toured the country with George by train, was invited to the White House by Eleanor Roosevelt, and got a few thousand write-in votes. All that happened a long time ago. And George now finds himself as he was at the start of his career, a solo act. And here he is at a time in his life when that prudential policy looked like it was close to coming due.
Well, that's a nice reception. Always glad to be here in Sun City Center, where the women can't get pregnant and the men look like they are. Yeah. I'm really glad to be here. Of course, at my age, I'm glad to be anywhere. Just kidding. Just kidding. I was thinking about that, how difficult it is for me to remember things sometimes. But even at my age, every day I learn something new. And every day I forget 5 things that I used to know. In fact, it's gotten to the point now that I can hide my own Easter eggs. I was talking a little while ago to the head man here, the Reverend Kevin Warner, and he told me something about something that happened last Sunday, which gives an example of why a retirement community like Sun City Center is different from other places. I'll tell you the story. Seems that this fellow walks in, he'd never been here before, comes to one of the services. A woman, member of the greeters, she sees him, goes to the door, introduces herself, and welcomes him. First time here, she asks? Yes, he says. Oh, wonderful. Where are you from? And he said, well, I just got out of jail. Oh, she said, just got out of jail. Yeah. He said, they locked me up because I sawed my wife in half. And the woman says, oh, so you're single. I was under the weather a little bit a couple of weeks back, and the Pastoral Care Committee at St. John Divine sent me a get well card, which was very nice of them to do that. I found out later that the vote in the committee to send me the card was 11 to 10. So it was a close call. I just got back from a cruise. I don't like cruising. I don't like all that water. I don't even like water in a glass. But anyway, a friend of mine and his wife were having an anniversary, and they wanted me to go and do a show for them, which I did, so it was all right. Food was good, and the service was really wonderful. Give an example. We're out there, first night at sea. I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And when I come out of the bathroom, my bed has been made. There's a towel on the bed that's shaped like a frog, and there's a mint on my pillow. Next morning, I go out to breakfast. I come back, my bed has been made. The towel has been shaped to look like a giraffe. There's a mint on my pillow. And in the bathroom, the end of the paper roll has been shaped like a spear. So I thought I'd have a little fun with them. Every time I left the cabin, I made sure to fold the end of the roll of paper into a spear. Well, on the last morning there, I go out to breakfast, I come back. My bed has been made, the towel has been shaped to look like an armadillo, and on my pillow, instead of a mint, they put a prune. Wow, trying to keep me happy. Just trying to keep me happy. You know what happiness is? They say happiness is a good martini, a good meal, a good cigar, and a good woman. Or a bad woman, depending upon how much happiness you can stand. I was lucky. I was happy with one really good woman for 38 years. She's gone, long gone now. But Gracie has never been apart from me. We're still together. All I have to do is think of her. And she's here. See what I mean? Gracie.
George, I'm sorry I'm late.
Well, where have you been?
Well, I was shopping and I met Blanche who was going to the doctor, so I went with her.
Oh, that was very nice.
I don't think he's a very good doctor.
No?
No. All his patients are sick.
Oh, that's a bad sign, yeah. Didn't Blanche and Harry just get back from New York?
Yes, and what a flight. There was a very pretty young blonde lady in the first class section that was supposed to be in coach.
And that was a problem?
Well, I'll say. The stewardess told her she had to move, but she said she liked that seat and she wasn't moving till the plane got to L.A.
Really?
Really.
Yeah.
And the co-pilot told her the same thing, and this very pretty blonde young lady told him the same thing, that she planned to stay in that seat all the way to L.A.
Well, that sounds like a standoff.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
There's more. Blanche said the pilot solved the problem. He came back and whispered in the young lady's ear.
And?
And she got up and went back to coach.
Well, what do you know? What was it that the pilot whispered in that young lady's ear?
Well, according to Blanche, the pilot told her the first class section didn't go to L.A.
Oh, clever fellow. What do you got there?
Oh, I got a letter from my mother.
Ah, yes, your mother. Gracie, after all these years, your mother still doesn't like me.
Oh, she must like you.
What makes you say that?
Well, Mama said you're like a statue in the park. You know, one of those statues of a hero on a horse?
Really? Like a hero?
Well, more like the horse.
I get it.
And it depends from what angle you approach the horse.
I get the picture. What else you got there?
Some political campaign.
Oh, yeah? Republican or Democrat?
I don't know. I never read them.
You never read them?
I never read anything about politics anymore.
Nothing.
Nothing. On election day, I want to have an open mind.
Oh, well, that's an interesting approach, but aren't you interested in foreign relations?
Well, of course I'm interested in foreign relations. I mean, if Charles Boyer is hanging around with Hedy Lamarr, we should know about it, don't you think?
Oh, yes, of course.
Remember when my Uncle Otis was in politics?
Uncle 4/5 Otis, yes.
Well, he ran for city council right here in Los Angeles. I remember a big debate about how to make the city better. One candidate promised to make the city cleaner. Another candidate promised to end crime.
And what did Uncle Otis promise to do to make Los Angeles a better place?
Well, he promised to move to San Francisco.
Oh. Well, that's a start.
On Uncle Otis's last night in town, he fell down a flight of stairs carrying a pint of whiskey and never spilled a drop.
How did he manage that?
He kept his mouth shut.
Oh, I see.
Well, I'm off.
Where are you going now?
Mrs. Randolph's Culture Club meeting.
Mrs. Randolph's Culture Club? She let you join? She hates me.
Well, she changed her mind when I told her that you were the great-grandson of the Scottish poet Robert Burns.
She fell for that? What made her think that?
Well, I told her when we go out with friends for lunch, you never pick up the check.
Oh, I see.
Bye.
And just like that, she was gone. Gone. I always remember something, that time is kind of a trickster. You think you've got all the time in the world, and then suddenly you realize you don't. Time's a trickster. And I think of a song written by Yip Harburg. He's a wonderful songwriter, wrote many great songs, including Over the Rainbow. And he wrote this song. This was the last song he ever wrote. He was a kid when he wrote it. 85. See if I can remember it. It goes like this. Time, you old gypsy man, thief on the wing, drugged me with rhapsodies, tricked me with spring, fiddled me off my feet, danced me on air, then sprinkled my daydreams with gold dust and silvered my hair. Silvered my hair, you rogue, crinkled my eyes, whistled the bird of youth out of my skies. Time, you old vagabond, riddle me this. What did you do with forever and ever that sealed every kiss? You packed up your tambourines, stilled your guitars, slipped off into the night, turned off the stars, took away song and spring, robbed me of rhyme. But you old gypsy man, thanks for a glorious time. Well, I guess that's it. Nothing more I can add. It's
George.
Oh, yeah, Gracie. I got to be going, folks, so thank you for a really glorious...
George.
Yeah?
Say goodnight, George.
I told you she was the funny one. Good night.
Good night.
An Evening with George Burns and Gracie Allen is the production of Pelican Players Radio Theater. It featured Jeanne Naish and Ed Brown. Audio engineers for Act 1 of tonight's program were Jim Smith and Martin Fossey. Act 2 of tonight's program was originally seen live in a 2019 stage performance at St. John Divine Episcopal Church, Sun City Center. Audio engineers were Jim Smith and Ken Winter. Your announcer is Jean Brown.
Please be safe and stay well. And thanks again for listening. Good night.